For people outside of Australia, the thought of eating kangaroo sends a shiver up people's spines. What, you're eating your national emblem animal? You bloody bet we are. I'm making my Moroccan spiced kangaroo meatballs. Now here's some facts I want to get straight with kangaroo. It is a sustainable meat. Kangaroos are like pests here in Australia. There are so many of them. Kangaroo is affordable. It is so cheap because it is sustainable. It's a wild game meat. It's not farmed or produced or anything like that. It is wild game meat. And the other thing, and I think the best feature, it is one of the healthiest and leanest meats in the world. It's got a 1% fat ratio. You can't get that with beef. You can't get that with chicken, pork, or anything else. So keep an open mind, stay with me because this dish is so beautiful. So firstly, I'm gonna make the spice mix into a bowl. I'm gonna be adding in some fresh mint that I've just chopped up. You can use dried mint as well. I'm also gonna add in some oregano, some cumin, and some paprika. Season with salt and pepper and just give everything a good mix around, and this rub is just so good. It's going to flavour the kangaroo really well, and it goes so well with it too. You'd be surprised these Middle Eastern style spices that go with an Australian meat. Now the problem with kangaroo being such a high protein and very little fat, even in the ground kangaroo or minced kangaroo, you have to find a way to retain some moisture and some juiciness, otherwise it just dries out really bad. So what I do is I place in some chopped tomatoes. So I just get the tomatoes, de-seed them, take the middle out, and then slice up into chunks. And just for some added flavour, because hey, garlic goes with everything, I put in some freshly chopped garlic as well. So into a large bowl now, put in your ground kangaroo and then hit it with the spice mix, hit it with the tomatoes, hit it with the garlic, and just give everything a good mix around. Get your hands in there, get it all mixed up, and then just shape them into meatballs. These are protein bombs, let me tell you, that just pack so much flavour. Put them on a tray, then put them in the fridge for about an hour just to chill and hold their shape. So while that's in the fridge, we're gonna get started on our tahini dressing that goes with the kangaroo meatball. Really simple, tahini, which is just ground sesame seeds, straight into a bowl, and to that I'm gonna add in a squeeze of lemon juice, some pomegranate molasses, some more of that spice mix, and some fresh mint leaves. Give it a good mix around, get everything combined. Now if it starts to get a little thick on you, just add a little bit of olive oil just to thin it out a little bit. And again, this dressing goes so well with the kangaroo, that real earthiness of the sesame seed when it's in that tahini is just gorgeous. And of course you've got still those spices and herbs in there as well, and the mint just gives it a wonderful fresh fragrance to everything. So just put that aside. The other thing we're gonna serve this with to add some real sweetness to the dish, because it needs it, because we've got all that earthiness and game flavor going on, we need something sweet. So what do we put on that goes so well? Pomegranate. I love pomegranates. They are just jewels. They look like little treasures, and they're just bursts of just very slight sweetness. Not too sweet, and that's not what we're after. We're after something that's very mild in sweetness. Now, cutting up a pomegranate can be pretty messy. So here's what I do, and it works for me, and it's no fuss, no mess. I just get a knife and I run it around the top of the pomegranate. So that's where it's been hanging off the tree. And then just like a pumpkin, I pop the lid open and I can see all the segments there. And then at each segment, you'll see I just run the knife around, and then on the other side as well of the segment, and I just peel it away like I'm peeling an orange. And when you do that, you open it up and all the jewels are there. And all you have to do is just grab a spoon or a knife, just very gently, because you don't want to pop them, just scrape them out. Don't put them in buckets of water and all this sort of stuff that people do. This is the simplest way, and it retains the flavor. You don't lose anything by putting it in water and creating less mess. So just put these aside, and now we're gonna get started on cooking our kangaroo meatballs. So into a pan over a medium to high heat, I'm going to add in a drizzle of olive oil. It's more of a glug of olive oil, I think. It's a bit more than usual because there is no fat there. We need that oil there to assist the cooking with the kangaroo so nothing gets really dried out. Then place the kangaroo meatballs into the pan, sear them off on all sides. Now these are fairly medium-sized meatballs, so I'm going to cook them for 6 to 7 minutes, turning them all the time over that medium to high heat until I get some great colour on the outside and they just start to firm up a little bit, because you don't want to overcook. And you see there, you've got a great caramelization on the outside, and that's what we want. That's flavor. So take them out, leave them to rest for a couple of minutes, and then plating up, super simple. I'm just going to put drops of that tahini dressing that we made onto a plate. Then the meatballs go down, and then finally I'm going to be adding over our pomegranate around and just scattering it all around the dish. And to finish it off, I'm going to hit it with some fresh lemon juice over the top of the meatballs and some more fresh mint, some fresh chopped mint. This is so tasty, it is so simple to do, and the flavors are just incredible. And I think the dish has a real beauty to it as well. I mean, it's hard to make a meatball look good on a plate, let's be honest. But next time you're at your supermarket, please look out for some kangaroo. If you can only find the kangaroo steaks, then ground it yourself, even better. But give kangaroo a try. Like I said, sustainable, healthy, cheap, it ticks all the boxes. You can check the recipe out on my website. The link is in the description. If you like this recipe, please give it a thumbs up, share it around with your friends and family, and I will see you next time for another recipe.